DC News Now.
Several trees expected to be removed at a park after a woman was hit and killed by a branch last week. I'll tell you how neighbors feel about the change.
Finally getting some relief after that brutal stretch of unforgiving temperatures. Weather forecaster Brittany Ward will tell us how long it's going to last.
A newly released poll by our reporting partner The Hill and Emerson College shows former President Donald Trump leading in Virginia. By how much? Coming up.
We didn't wait for the summer to begin addressing crime. We started addressing crime last year.
DC's police chief celebrating her one-year anniversary, reflecting on her time as the district's top cop. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. We are following breaking news this hour. 4 people have been shot in Southeast D.C. Police say 3 men and 1 girl have been wounded. It happened near 22nd Street and Alabama Avenue. Police are now looking for a blue Dodge Charger. Again, this is breaking news, and we'll update you more as we learn more information. Weather forecaster Brittany Ward joins us with the latest check on the forecast. And Brittany, tell me, I didn't imagine it when I woke up this morning and walked outside. Seemed like we're getting a little bit of a break from the heat.
Yeah, you know, Mark, temperatures right now not looking too bad, not as hot as what we saw yesterday. And the good news is we'll be holding on to those cooler temperatures as we head through your Thursday. Let's take a look at satellite and radar right now, showing you the last couple of hours. We did have some passing clouds earlier this morning. Starting to see a break though here in the nation's capital. A little bit of peaks of sunshine, but notice back off to our south and our west, out towards Luray. It looks like you guys are starting to pick up a few showers there, but much of the area currently dry. This is going to be the trend though as we head through your day today. That cold front that moved through yesterday still just hanging out just to our south. We do have a chance of seeing more isolated showers pop up, mainly south of DC, so we're going to be keeping an eye out on that as we head through the rest of your day today. Temperature wise, again, not looking too bad, still warm but not hot as what we saw the past couple of days. We're sitting at 85 degrees right now in the nation's capital, 79 currently in Hagerstown, 77 as you head over there to Woodstock and you think back to 24 hours ago this time. Yes, we are about 10 to almost 20 degrees cooler across much of the DMV, and we're going to be holding on to the 80s as we head through much of your day today. But mark, the heat and humidity will be returning as we head into the weekend. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast coming up.
All right, Brittany, thank you. DDOT planning the removal of several trees at Garfield Park in Southeast. This comes after a woman was hit and killed by a large branch there last week. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay spoke to neighbors about how they feel about the tree removal.
A growing memorial here at Garfield Park in honor of 35-year-old Sarah Noah. Her tragic death led the District of Department of Transportation to inspect every tree here at the park, and now they plan to remove 7 trees. But neighbors tell us they have mixed feelings about this. Garfield Park is a place many people admire for the beauty of its trees and the shade in the summer heat.
I really just don't want this park to become an open field.
But last week's incident where a large tree branch fell and killed 35-year-old Sarah Noah raises some concerns. DDOT's Department of Urban Forestry Division conducted a careful inspection and decided to remove 7 trees. 3 of them are considered dead, 3 others are in poor condition, and a large tree will be removed for precautionary reasons. DDOT says just because some of the trees are dead does not mean they're a public safety concern, but rather they've run the course of their lifetime. DDOT says they plan to remove the trees over the next few weeks. Now, many neighbors understand the reason for the trees being removed, but they're not too happy about the decision.
And I hope they replace them with more mature trees. I mean, I understand safety is a massive concern.
We hate to lose big trees because they give homes for the animals and they give shade, and they've been here so long. However, if they're dangerous, and they got to go.
For now, reporting in Southeast DC, I'm Jean-Marie Sissay, DC News Now.
Jean-Marie, thank you. Developing now, Montgomery County police say a man is in custody accused of stabbing someone at the Wheaton Metro Station. It happened around 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and officials say the victim was taken to the hospital and will be okay. It's not clear what led to the stabbing. Meantime, D.C. police are investigating a deadly double stabbing in Georgetown. They've identified the man killed as 36-year-old Anvar Goliev, and it happened in the parking garage of the Safeway on Wisconsin Avenue shortly after the noon yesterday. Police say that 2 men were stabbed and got themselves to the hospital. Goliev later died.
It's shocking because I come here often to pick up groceries and stuff, and it's scary to see. His life's unpredictable, you know.
Police have not released any information on the suspect. If you have any information regarding this case, you're asked to contact D.C. Police. And investigators in the district are asking for the public's help finding several people accused of stealing from several stores. You can see surveillance photos of the suspects here. All 3 thefts happened in Northwest yesterday within 90 minutes of each other. The first was at the 14th Street around 10 a.m. The second was on M Street at 10:30, and the third was on F Street around 11:30. If you recognize these people, you're asked to contact police. MPD offers a reward of up to $1,000. And D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser sending the district's budget proposal back to council. In a letter to council chair Phil Mendelson, she calls the budget unsustainable. Bowser says that it would increase property and income taxes, and she also claims it would raise taxes for paid family leave and hurt public schools. Mayor says that her original budget that the council reversed says that district nearly would really cost the district an additional $2 billion. Developing now, Prince William County swim coach is being held without bond. He's accused of sexually assaulting a victim under the age of 13 in Woodbridge, and officials identified the suspect as 72-year-old Daniel Smith. According to Prince William County Police, the victim says that the assaults happened more than once during swimming lessons in the Chin Park Recreation Center. Each alleged assault happened between April and May of 2022. Right now, police say there are no indications that there are any additional victims. Smith was arrested on Sunday and has been charged with 2 counts of aggravated sexual battery. He's currently being held without bond and is expected to be back in court late next month. Well, DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and a newly released poll by our reporting partners, The Hill, along with Emerson College, shows former President Donald Trump leading President Biden in Virginia. DC News Now's Liberty Simmons was in Alexandria to break down the numbers.
Well, the new poll shows that undecided voters will be the key for either candidate winning Virginia. Right now, it shows that former President Donald Trump is ahead of President Joe Biden by just 2 points. So let's break down those key findings for you now. The poll shows 45% of Virginia voters support Trump, while 43% support Biden in the 2024 election. 11% are undecided. When undecided voters are pushed to choose the candidate they lean toward, both Trump and Biden's overall support increases to about 50% respectively, a dead heat. And Biden won Virginia by just 10 points back in 2020. Now locally, the race for the incumbent Senator Tim Kaine's seat is not that close. The poll shows Senator Kaine leads his Republican challenger Hung Cao by 10 points at 49% to 39%. The poll also shows a majority of Virginia voters, 70%, think the U.S. is on the wrong track. The top 3 issues of concern among Virginia voters are the economy, housing affordability, and immigration.
I really think that the polls aren't telling us everything. The polls these days don't capture true sentiment. They're only capturing a certain segment of the population, so I don't think they're telling us everything.
Now, experts say that Virginia could be a major indicator of former President Trump's national support. The last time a Republican won Virginia was about 20 years ago, and that was with George W. Bush back in 2004. For now, in Alexandria, Liberty Simmons, D.C. News Now.
Liberty, thank you. On the 3rd day of the Republican National Convention, Donald Trump's new running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, accepted the Republican nomination as vice president and introduced himself to a national audience. The former president says that he picked the Ohio senator because Vance relates to the working class Americans after rising up from poverty himself. Vance spoke about his experience growing up in a family that struggled with drug addiction and poverty, which is why he believes Trump picked him for the ticket. Vance's wife, USHA spokesperson, Vance's wife spoke saying both her and her husband are shocked to be in this position.
It's safe to say that neither JD nor I expected to find ourselves in this position. But it's hard to imagine a more powerful example of the American dream.
Well, tonight we're expected to hear from former President Trump as he formally accepts the Republican nomination for president. Well, while the Washington Nationals take a quick break for the All-Star game, Nats Park is being used for another athletic event. Military members are using the field for high-intensity interval training. And there we're seen taking the push-ups and squats and in the outfield and even racing up and down the ballpark stairs. Now, Base Hit is the name of the 2-year-old program. There are 9 stations, all have 5-minute workouts, and people participating say it's a great way to stay active and train.
People that chose to be out here, so you're going to have great attitude. You're going to have, participation is going to be high, and everybody just wants to have fun and still get better, right? We're the United States military, right? We need to stay fit. We need to stay ready, and this stuff like this right here, you can stay ready, stay fit while having fun.
Organizers say more than 700 people have come out to participate in the next workout session, August 14th. You can register online. In Maryland, Frederick County celebrating Veterans Appreciation Day this weekend. The county says it's going to honor 17,000 veterans living in the area. Families are going to be able to enjoy amazing music, good food, and lots of prizes. Organizers say guests can also take part in a resource fair with workshops. It starts this Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Prospect Center on Himes Avenue.